Once upon a time, in the very distant past, all the birds were invited to a party in the sky. When they received the invitation, each one of them began to clean and to arrange its plumage and to make preparations for taking part in the program. The choir, composed of nightingales, larks, canaries, and mockingbirds, practiced all day from sunrise to sunset. How melodious were their voices! The black crow, who did not know how to sing or dance, wished to play his guitar at the party, but he was not invited to participate because he played with more enthusiasm than talent. Nevertheless, he decided to practice, thinking that he could play his instrument if the opportunity came up. Finally, the morning of the party arrived, and all of the birds, large and small, left flying towards the sky, except the crow, who was never in a hurry. That morning, he remained for a long time in the woods, arranging his beautiful black suit. When he finished his preparations, he picked up his instrument, ready to begin his flight to the sky. At that moment, he heard a voice that said, "Good morning, Mr. Crow. Where are you going so early in your elegant suit and with your melodic guitar?" "Mr. Toad, how are you? You must know that I am going to the sky to attend a party. Only those who fly at great heights and who have beautiful feathers go there. Since you lack wings and feathers, and, besides, you are very ugly, I believe that the party is not for you." "Oh," exclaimed the toad, without paying attention to the crow's insult about his appearance, "I would really like to know the sky and to take a little stroll there. Can't I go with you, friend Crow?" "That is absolutely impossible," said the crow, in a very important tone of voice, while he put his guitar on the ground and went to the river to drink. The clever toad took advantage of that brief moment and got into the guitar without being seen. "How surprised the great Mr. Crow is going to be when he sees me at the party," the toad said to himself as he sat down in a dark corner of the instrument. When he finished drinking, the crow shouted, "Goodbye, friend Toad, wherever you are. Tomorrow I shall tell you what happened at the party." After saying that, the bird took his guitar and the passenger and began flying to where the party was to take place, the sky. Arriving there after a long trip through the air, the crow sat down at a place indicated by one of the hosts and left his guitar in a corner. The party had already started. The chorus of singers, amused by the many guests with their beautiful melodies. Then certain birds paraded by one, showing off their marvelous feathers. What cheerfulness! So many shouts and voices livened up the party. Finally, the time for dancing arrived. The birds began to dance elegantly. Soon they noticed a strange dancer among the participants. It was the toad, who was singing and dancing with such skill, enthusiasm, and cheerfulness that he pleased those present and caused great admiration. Everyone noisily applauded the enthusiastic dancer, who, being a little nervous, often looked at the crow and the guitar. The toad enjoyed himself very much at the party, although he thought a lot about how he was going to return to Earth, should the crow by chance discover his deceit. Mr. Crow, of course, was surprised to meet his friend at the party, and to see him dance so happily. He suspected the clever trick played by the toad, but he did not say anything to him. When the party was about to end, a kind and diplomatic dove noticed that the crow was the only bird that had not participated in the program. So he said aloud, "Mr. Crow, Don't you wish to thank our host on behalf of all the birds for such a magnificent party?" "With great pleasure, little dove," said the crow, anxious to draw the attention of everyone. He got ready to give an elegant but brief speech. While the crow was talking, the toad leapt towards the guitar. Quickly he got in again, without being seen by anyone, and there he waited for the return trip. The party ended before sunset, and all the birds returned to earth, including the crow, who was very satisfied after his brilliant speech. The toad, fearful without knowing why, waited anxiously for the arrival on the ground when, suddenly, he felt something strange was happening to him. The fact was that he was no longer in his hiding place. The crow deliberately had turned over the guitar. The dancing and adventurous toad was thrown through the mouth of the guitar towards the ground, which was still very far away. The poor dancing toad! He was afraid he would die from fright and anxiety while turning round and around through the air. In this lonely journey, he did not stop begging, "Stones of the road, move out of the way when I get to the ground." And he said to himself, "Oh, may I fall on soft grass. If not, I will die. My poor skin." Finally, the toad reached the ground. The stones had not moved, and he was badly beaten, but he did not die. Soon, the wounds which resulted from his terrible blow were healed, and in their place remained some spots similar to those that are seen on toads today. After all this occurred, no toad has wanted to fly to the sky or to deceive any crow. And from those remote times on, it is said that toads know when it's going to rain because one of them once went through the clouds in the company of a crow, the storm bird.